'cause your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. For my Lord is offering a harvest of wonderful blessings. Make you small son a good Christian. Make you small son a good Christian. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. crystal eyes, colors of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ.
Wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. As our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start. When the sun turns off the moonlight, we get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise. And on the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, a new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road, and a new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
When I go in to pray, I look for my good Jesus. And when I close my eyes, I can feel all His light. I open my heart for all He has to say. He shows me the best way I can enjoy my life. Jesus, Jesus, they never we apart. Please bring all your light to shine inside my heart. Jesus, Jesus, I can be content. I have your endless love and your protecting hand.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Spirit Talk. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Our meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook and also every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. For those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know to Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. New class is started September 7th, but you can still join us. So the registration link is in the chat and contact us with any questions. We offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home study meetings. By posting in the chat, you can request it. So please let us know. You are welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list of positive vibration for incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. The topic of today's meeting will be the Kingship of Jesus, item 4 from chapter 2. My Kindle is not of this world from the Gospel according to Spiritism, which will be facilitated by our brother Rod Gomes from Ottawa. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. And now, we would like to invite our tonight's speaker, who will also do our opening prayer. Hi, Rod, welcome.
Hello, Marceline. How are you today?
I am very good. I'm very happy to have you here with us.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
how are you? Is everything okay?
Really good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I see you later.
See you later. Thank you very much. So let's, as Marcel said, let's start with the prayer. We invite you to close your eyes and elevate your mentalization with the image of Jesus among friends, the apostles. Let's now be thankful for this day and for all the other days that we had as an opportunity to learn, to put in practice his teachings. We know about his kingship is not of this world because that must be in our hearts. So the transformations that our Master Jesus wait and keep inviting us to do it is a transformation of our soul through the learnings, through the practice, so we can spread these teachings through our family and friends and in daily basis, even from those that we don't know, as he offers us and as an opportunity when someone knocks our door requesting for help in on the streets. So let's spread that positive feelings and that may be helpful for people who are in difficulties right now in the hospitals, in the streets, and maybe on their own houses with difficult moments, conflicts on their families, and conflicts about themselves. So let's be thankful. Let's clean our minds for the talk of tonight. And I hope through these teachings from the Gospel according to Spiritism, we can end our day with a better feeling and with more inspirational attitude for our project. So we thank you, the good spirits, for the opportunity of this night, and we ask our Master Jesus to inspire us not only now, not only today, but always. So be it. So let me add. So let's Marceli explain. We will be continuing the chapter 2 of Gospel according to Spiritism, talking about the kingship of Jesus. Let me see if you can. So the chapter starts with very assertive information. Everyone understands that Jesus' kingdom is not of this world. So we understand that because we experience um, the reality, knowing the difficulties that we face, not in our surroundings, but inside of ourselves. So that kingdom, as Jesus states in his presence, physical presence with among us, we have to reach that kingdom with our capacity of evolve. So when we step through a better uh, level of evolution, we can be more and more a participant of that kingdom. So we can start today. We can start now. So we will be building that kingdom with our attitude. Also, the way we face, the way we understand the word through his lamps, through his teachings, it's a way for us also to to live that kingdom in our daily basis, even with all the difficulties that we face in this world. So, but might he not also have a kingship on earth? And then the chapter explains that we have a lot of kings beyond that regular the political position, the family heritage. We have the prince of philosophers, artists, poets, writers. So when someone reach a certain level of assertiveness, of presence, of talent on in a specific area, we normally name it that person as a king of something or a queen, right? Depends if a man or women, but we kind of give them that title because that person it's beyond the regular uh, level of practice. So I'm bringing here the image of a soccer player, the Pelé, who is very famous in Brazil and all across the world, right? Because soccer is also uh, the most famous sport. So we used to call him the king of soccer because his achievements were a huge success everywhere. So, and he still being mentioned as a king, as many others in many other areas. I'm just bringing one example here. And the spirit states that. So when someone have that level of recognition, it also means that that will keep even longer than a regular king. So a king who has that title because his political presence or level of leadership. So that kind of kingship we still honoring through generations more than any political title. So Jesus still for us, and we are talking about him this night through the spiritual lens, but I'm pretty sure in many places right now, in many different religions, the Christian religions, the Christians uh, approach about him. People are talking about him, and maybe in a small house right now, in a family meeting, they also are talking about him. So we still see him as a king on his teachings. So because he's still ascending his examples, his parables, they are we still discovering, trying to understand and bring to our life as a sample, right? So his presence is still strong even all those years that we have passed after his physical presence. So a couple of qualities of Jesus, and he spread the love, right? So he brought us as a Spiritus explained to through Allan Kardec. Jesus came to us bringing a second revelation. So we, according to our maturity as a spiritual beings, we are learning in levels of revelation. We know, for example, the Ten Commandments from Moses was the first revelation, and all that knowledge who came to the sequence of books of prophecies. So then we have Jesus who brought us the law of love. So different than before, when we were invited to be afraid of God, right? Because his punishment. Now, through Jesus, we understand his love. So not only the need of love him, understanding him like God, but also the reason for us to love each other. So loving is a very important aspect of his teachings. And because we are not in his level of comprehension and understanding, we need to forgive. And I always remind myself about Mahatma Gandhi in one of the questions that he answered when someone asked him if he was able to forgive, if he ever forgive someone, right? And he answered he never had to forgive because he never got offended, because he was able to understand that person in his circumstances. So Gandhi was giving us an example that someone who is not embracing any suffering from others' opinions, for example. So Gandhi was in a level that he does not have any need of forgiving, but Jesus was teaching us to do it because he knows us, right? You know, we have to learn. And the forgiving is one of his teaching that is very important, because when we forgive someone, is not only beneficial for that person, but also, and most of all, it's for ourselves, right? Because we release that feeling, and we fulfill our hearts with a completely different state of presence. So humility, and I will bring that more in details in the next slides, but humility is something that we always need to work on ourselves. At least I have to work with myself, because when we evolve in one or another area in our life, for example, our educational area or a professional area, we tend to think we are better than others at certain point, and we absolutely not, right? And we need to understand that if we are getting knowledge about something, we absolutely can use in our personal life as an opportunity to improve our life condition. There's no any problem about that, right? But we can also use that in another area. So how can we use the talent that we have to help others? Right? So that's through charity, for example. So that's something we need to think, and never think we are better than any other else. So compassion, see other and trying to feel their pain. When we even when we get someone who came to us arguing or yelling, right? So that person, it's in pain because something. So we may don't know, but there is something that make that person unbalanced. A point of come to us with that aggressivity. So we need to have the compassion and understand and feel that pain so we can act, even if it's just through a pray, right? Act in a way that we can help that person. So be kind, be gentle. It's another important teaching from Jesus. He always have an open heart, and were able to listen. See, in many situations, Jesus was able to see what's going on with that person in particular and help for him, help them. So it's same with us. Are we really paying attention on others? Are we really seeing that person that comes to us, or already have a place besides us as our family or a friend? So let's review our way to do it, and look better, and bring that compassion, connect to the with gentle attitudes to the others. So one of level of evolution that we spirits always say is a capacity of self-control. And it's another level because we can see things, we can see the other, we can understand the content, so we don't need to lose our control in any circumstances. So that's also a very important characteristic of Jesus. His patience. He's able to, and it's when he was in his last minute of his life with us, as already crucified, asking God to forgive us, to understand us, because we didn't know what we are doing with him. And so he is waiting for us through this ages of evolution. So he's patient, and he offers us a daily opportunity to improve small things in our life, in ourselves. It's through his organization, his presence. So he understands we are like these pictures, children in the evolutionary process, and keep guiding us with all his love. So obedience to God's laws. Sometimes, in many cases, we are rebels. So being incarnated in this planet, we know that we have some kind of we have some difficulties to apply God's laws in our life. So we are rebels. We are trying to contest. I always see looking for a different path. So Jesus show us we need to understand our position and be obedient to those laws, because we cannot change those. So we can keep trying to fight them, but the evolutionary process will move us ahead, and that can happen with suffering or with happiness. Depends on us, right? Our level of understanding. Honesty, be honest, and that's important. Not only be honest with others, but be honest with yourself. Don't don't try to fool yourself with an idea not being who you are. But understand and accept who you are with with your problems and defects, so you can change. It's the only way. We need to admit our problems so we can change those. If you are not able to do it, how can we change, right? Something that we are not even seeing. And be prayerful. So use the capacity of pray to request something, right, from God, from the spirits, to be thankful, or and to do the worship with him, about God, and even about Jesus and the good spirits. So that is the image of Jesus as he is, right? We know he was a Christ being, so it means he was in the level, the last level of evolutionary spirit, like the spiritual evolution He was already in the highest level before the earth even exists. So Jesus was one of those most evolved spirits. So he is a powerful being. He is capable of seeing life without time, before and after. So we don't know exactly, and even we cannot have even the capacity of understanding his powers, right? But we know he is really a powerful being with all the knowledge, all the capacity. So he's using that power to help us. So I want to state this image on this slide because I want to give him and I give you the idea of Jesus as a very powerful being. Obviously, this image don't even show a fraction of this power, but just to give you this importance of him. And then move to this with a sentence of from Emmanuel, the Spirit saying that we build palaces and basilicas, renowned for their grandeur and beauty, intending to honor his memory, Jesus, forgetting that, in truth, he did not even have a stone where he could rest his head. So reminding ourselves that image of powerful Jesus. But when he was with us, he was willing with all his heart to show us the path of evolution through simplicity. So he was a humble and simple person in every aspect. And we still trying to honor him with palaces, right? Through any of the Christian religions, we keep trying to build huge places, sorry, and forgetting that was not of his intention. He was a simplicity. He didn't gather uh, any gold or any richness. He was trying to show us. Sorry, he was trying to show us what we really need to get close to God, to follow God's laws. And it's all about understanding, forgiveness, simplicity. So let's try through the lens of spiritual being as Emmanuel, keep that in mind. So what we really need, what we really are looking for in our lives. So maybe, and I can talk about that with myself every night. So maybe I should change a little bit my perspective, my seeks, because I may seeking something that is not really need for me in any circumstances. So let's honor him with his real teachings and his example. So about kingship, kings, and Jesus, the ascendance of him is imperishable, whereas the other is playing with vicissitude. So the ascendance of Jesus' teachings, his real as a king on his area, right, is imperishable. So we never lose that. And in the contrary, every day when we have more information from the spiritual realm, for example, we see that more we are getting more and more close of understanding his teachings. So we are actually not only losing that, but also learning more every day. And his ascendance is always blessed by future generations. So, as I said, every generation that has the opportunity to learn more will understand that more and bless that more. Whereas the others sometimes curse it. So the power, and we can see like in many moments of history, the kings as they were, in many cases they didn't end in the best position, in the best moral situation, because all the the greed, all the difficult that power, that material power attracts, different than what Jesus was trying to show, again, by the simplicity, by the loving, so all those teachings that he was trying to show us. So earthly sovereignty ends with life, as we know. Moral sovereignty continues to govern, especially after that. Look the difference. And the spirits are trying to explain that. So it's not only the sovereignty, but also the material things. So all that we can gather through the, again, there's nothing wrong with material conquests through honest work, but we have to well balance our choices and what we are looking for every day, because the more we gain will not only help us in this moment, giving us the opportunity to live close to that kingship as Jesus trying to explain, but also in the afterlife. So when our material life, our incarnated life ended, we will experience the benefits of a moral conquest, of the moral gains that we are building today. From this aspect, is Jesus not a more powerful king than many sovereigns of earth? Absolutely, he is, as we know, through the history, and will continue like this. And again, he was using the kingship as a visual concept because that was what people were living on that time, right? Rome and all the kings, the emperors, so all those powerful presence on his time. So this is why he was using that. But in today's life, doesn't matter what we choose as a symbol of leadership, we will still see and having Jesus as the best example that we can have. So he said that to Pilatus, right? I am a king, but my kingdom is not of this world. So, and maybe shouldn't never be, because where we can feel his kingdom, or we should feel his kingdom in our hearts, as the poet Alta de Souza mentioned in the Fraternal Message poem. She said, the most highest chapter. So our heart. So let's try to bring his kingdom to the right place, and that's in our heart. And that is a good fight to fight, right? This transformation. The soul of a powerful person may later animate a humble artisan, and vice versa, because positions among individuals are frequently the inverse of the elevation of their morality. So, with that in mind, from the Spiritist book, we need to understand that how we judge people, and that's for sure, because we keep seeing, oh, that person has a profession that gives us a lot of money, or is a well succeed entrepreneur, has a accumulates a lot of money, and we see that person sometimes as a better person than others that was a simple person who worked in a simple job doing simple things. And in many cases, we're not even aware about that person existence, and they are doing great things in small portions. So that person is visiting someone and helping and listening and donating. And I'm not talking about donation of money, but donation of time, donation of pray. And we have here, right? Herod was a king and Jesus was a carpenter. That simplicity of his working uh, make a huge difference, because he was showing us, he was teaching us, again, through the path of simplicity, through the path of honest work, that capacity of illuminated presence. So what's the true meaning of word charity as Jesus understood it? Again, normally when we think about charity, we think about donation, material donation, money, clothing. So, and they are all important. In many cases, people need that as a first solution on their lives. So they are hungry, they need food. They have the winter, they are suffering with cold, so they need a warm clothing. But let's think a little bit beyond that, and not only for strangers, but for our very house, with our family. How can we try to be more, bring the charity to those with us, understanding more, listening more, speaking less, arguing less? What we can do today or tomorrow or on the next day that we can practice, as Jesus say, and as the spirits are explaining about Jesus' true meaning about charity: benevolence toward everyone, indulgence toward the imperfections of others, and forgiveness of offenses. So benevolence, indulgence, forgiveness. We don't need any coin, any penny to do all three. We just need open hearts. We just need the understanding of each other to practice this. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. So, and the spirits, when they address this amazing quote from Jesus, they say we cannot love in the same way. At least in our level of evolution, we cannot love our family, our son, our daughter, our husband, our wife, the same way we love our enemies, right? But if you have at least respect and understanding, remember that compassion, understanding that person needs help, that enemy, we should not uh, do any vengeance. So nothing that we can cause any harm to that person. We should understand and pray. If not possible, solve that problem in person or right now, just keep away. So try to avoid the conflict. That's the way we can start that love our enemies. That's very well known item from the one of probably must know item from the book, the Spiritist book, when Kardec asked, "What is the perfect standard that God has offered to humankind as a guide and model?" The Spirit's saying for us to look at Jesus. So Jesus is our perfect model. And that's important because Kardec's asking for two things: a guide, and we completely understand that since I think since his presence, he's a guide. So his teachings, we are talking about that this night. All the Christian religions and even the not Christian religions are having that influence, as we know, right through the history. Guide, we know that, our master. But he's asking about the model. So we can aspire being like him because and it may you think, oh my gosh, I will never be like him because it's so. And I have this that feeling too, so we can share that feeling. Yeah, uh, maybe I don't know, even say how billions of years to get close, but think if today, even this night, after this talk, you forgive someone, you decide to be a little bit more humble, you are being similar to Jesus in our level, in our possibilities. So we can be like him in a small portion, in our capacity, no problem. So that can be our transformation. And I love to say we are all onions because we have layers and we build those layers through life because we have to be we have to have a different look, a professional look in our job. So we talk differently there. We understand the level of capacity we have there. So in our family life, in the spiritual center or church or any religion that we go. So we build those layers, and we need to start moving that so we can be more ourselves because at the beginning of everything, and we know even from the concept of this that the spirits are bringing to us when they explain the origin of all obsession, we are our obsessor, we are our enemy. So we have to remove those masks. We have to be honest with ourselves about our ignorance, our incapacities, our vices. We are not in this world because we are saints, right? At least I'm not. I can tell you that. So we have to work on that, and that will not our design from this life. So it's many lives before we build that problem. So it's a thousand of years probably of working wrongly, and then here we are again as another opportunity. So it'll be a transformation of many other lives to get in a level that we can be proud of. So let's transform that enemy that we are for ourselves in a partner, right? Let's work with that. So Allan Kardec explained Jesus is the highest standard of moral perfection to which humankind may aspire on earth. So we can aspire being like Jesus. Again, maybe exactly like him is too much for us, but that model of following God's life as he is, we can do it in small portions every day so we can be transforming our lives. Being a servant, and more important, when we are leading something in our work, in our family, with our kids, how can we be servant? How can we learn from them? As Jesus showed to the disciples in this amazing scene, right? When he was washing his feet. So, and he states, right, the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life for a reason of many. So learn to serve. Again, I'm not asking you to be like him because in that level, but let's try to put in practice a little bit of his learning. Jesus was humble, but he was clear about who he was or he is when he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So he is the light because he is the most clear representation of God's will and laws. So this is why he was the closest spiritual being to God. And that's why some religions understand him as a God himself. And that makes sense under the idea about him being the best example of God's laws. We know it's from the knowledge of spirit, he was not a God, right? He was a spirit like us, but in a very, very highest level of evolution. But because he represents that as a in an amazing way, in the clear way, so that confusion still remain in certain aspects. But we know clear he's a spiritual being as we are, but in a level of difference. So because he was able to practice. So I want to finish my talk with this question: knowing he is the light. So how are we following him? How are you following Jesus? How I am following Jesus? And again, be honest. Maybe you say, oh, I'm not following at all, but I can follow. I can start today. And I love that quote from Chico Xavier when he said, Jesus didn't ask us to climb the Everest. He just asked us to love each other. You may think, oh, maybe it's easier to climb the Everest at some point, but it's not out of our hands to follow him through our attitude. And I'm not saying we should, oh, let's go every day to the spiritual center, to the church. It's very important to go there. It's very important to do, again, the charity. But it's most important for our inner transformation. So the way we think, the way we speak, and then the way we act. So let's learn more and more about him, his teachings, his acts through those many parables and examples that we have, and trying to practice, trying to follow him in this daily life that we live. So I want to thank you all for the opportunity, and I'm happy to answer any question or comment that you may have.
Hey, Rod, thank you so much for your presentation, your beautiful presentation. And I got to think about your last question. How am
I'm
I
thinking
following?
that all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I say, oh God, oh Jesus, I'm sorry. I just trip on a stone.
We are really testing his patience, right? Really
Yeah,
trying to help him to improve his patience with our problems that we still doing.
yeah, it's true. We do have some questions here. Our brother Publio, he's asking what I should do to understand and feel the kingdom of Jesus Christ.
Wow. Thank you, Pablo. This is a amazing question. It's really hard to answer, right? But let's say we know the formula, right? So his gospel, he and more than that, so what everything that he did help us to understand that kingdom. Because and again, I tend to visualize the kingdom in our hearts. So that's his really fight, right, for our transformation. So it's there where we will feel that. And when we go to sleep and feel in peace, it's a good place that we are. So we understand that we are doing something that is right, from our hearts. When we feel the conflict, we start suffering, then we have moral problems, so we see we're not doing that. So the formula is there, the gospel is there, the spirits, and that is an advantage for us because the spirits are giving us more information. So as spiritists, we have an advantage from other religions because the spirits help us to understand. They explain some. So, but we should try to put in practice those teachings so that we will understand better what he
This is
was trying.
the recipe that he brought to us, right? He's,
Exactly, and it does remind me. I think Action and Reaction, the book from André Luiz, he has a had a moment when he asked a higher, like they receive a higher spirit, and he asked about what they should do, and the spirit say, follow Jesus' gospel. So what, how you do in your in the highest level of other words, and the spirit say we follow Jesus. So there's no secret. We know
yeah,
the formula. We just need to understand in practice.
to be disciplined, right? Have a
Yeah,
discipline
yeah.
to do that. Thank you.
Discipline, yeah, it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah. We do have one more question from our brother Rodrigo Villar. He is asking, why should we pray for those who do not like us? What Jesus and Spiritism teach us about this?
Amazing question. Yes, so Jesus asked us to love our enemies.
Mhm,
That was a hard moment because it's a brand new knowledge, right?
mhm,
2,000 years after, and having, again, we are blessed because we have the spirits to explain. So, as a spiritual beings, those who does not like us, and I'm not talking about every day, like a neighbor that we have a small problem. I mean that person who really see us as an enemy, right? Through the life,
mhm,
spirits explain that we have something from past lives with that person that we need to solve. And if they don't like us, probably we are the one who have to solve, right? So we have something to do it about it.
mhm.
So this is why we should pray in trying to solve that with that person. Sometimes not possible, I know. So it's really hard, right? The level of conflicts is too high for a conversation. That's fine. But the pray can help both of us to inspire us, inspire him with better feelings. And we should always seek for the good for the others. Doesn't matter if they are close to us or if they are our enemies in certain point, or even an unknown person, because we know as a spiritual beings, we have something to solve, and that is an opportunity right now we have to do it.
And when Jesus said that, like, we need to love our enemies, pray for those who doesn't like us, it doesn't mean that we need to bring them to our lives, right? Like, to love
Exactly.
our enemies, I don't need to bring them to my house to have dinner with them, to hang out or do whatever, right?
Yeah, maybe the dinner is a good idea to solve the problem, right? But
Yeah,
joke
but like
aside, yeah,
sometimes.
no, and the spirits explain that on that chapter. He explains that
Mhm.
it's not possible for me at least love the same way, right? The person that I do not like and the family that I love. So it's not the same kind of love.
Mhm.
But remember the love, the fraternal love, that love that can make us understand the other ones as a brother, a sister, as a
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah.
partner. So we need to have that, and then respect that person,
Mhm.
understand that that person also have difficulties, conflicts. So we are. That's the level of forgiveness we can give. So let's do it.
Yeah, and we don't know like the path that the person right have came through, right? Or we are not on their shoes, right? So we don't know, like, we know our side, right? So that's why it's
Exactly.
hard. I know that's hard, but it is so important to follow Jesus'
And,
teachings.
and, and if you are really in a level or in a better level of evolution, as we think we are at some point,
Mm-hmm.
that's our obligation to understand that person, right?
Yeah.
And then trying to work ways that we can solve that conflict.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Rod. Once
You're very
again, it was a
much.
beautiful explanation and lots of reflections.
Thank you very much and have a great night.
You too. Thank you. And thank you for your participation in this chat. Now, we will move to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. PAS is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PAS help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with health and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. And we will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. Okay, so let's close our eyes, elevate our thought, feel comfortable, and thanking God and His kindness. Thank God for this opportunity to be here. One more Tuesday, willing to learn more about Jesus' teachings. Thank you for this beautiful explanation we had today, for all these teachings that our brother brought to us. Help us, Jesus, to put into practice all your examples, all your teachings, so we may become a better person, because we need to evolve ourselves. Help us, Jesus, in our difficulties, in all the situations that sometimes we don't know what to do. May the good spirits inspire us. We ask you to protect our lives, our families, friends, and all the humanity. We ask for the countries, for the peace in the countries who are in war. May your love can reach them. We ask God to help all those names who are in the vibration list, all the people who are suffering with some illness, and please, God, help us to transform ourselves in better human beings. And may the good spirits protect us during this treatment and during the week that's beginning. Please, Jesus, stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position, which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capernaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conquer for the Americas at 8:30 p.m. East. And next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. And don't forget to follow us on Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and their Spiritist group Path of the Light on Facebook as well. Have a good night.
to the world.